My name is Cody Robertson, and my daughter is Brooklyn Neto. Brooklyn's very tiny. Like I said, she's 7. She's probably the size of a 4-year-old, but she has the biggest heart, and she has a story bigger than her life, really. But she was diagnosed 3.5 with acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and that was in October of 2009. And we went through about 2.5 years of chemotherapy. It's over 1,000 doses of chemo in 2.5 years. Chemo orally, chemo through her spine. We've gone through anything and everything you can think of. It wasn't until probably preschool started and we got into a class with other kids that I realized that we were pretty behind.
Back in, it was May, we had a Mom's Night Out program where it's exactly what it sounds like. We get all our moms together and we go out on the town, but we just go to dinner. So, and we got all of our moms together and we were having a nice dinner, and everybody kind of does updates and fills us in on who's doing what and how people are doing. And a lot of the moms kept talking about how much trouble they were having with their kids reintegrating back into school. So when they'd come back from chemo treatments or come back from St. Jude, they were having issues just how they were getting back to their new normal.
She stopped talking not long after her cancer diagnosis. She stopped walking. We had to learn basically life all over again. And so when we finally went into school, she was like a 2-year-old going into preschool. You know, she kind of checked out of life for a little while, and so we're having to rework ourselves back into life at 7 years old.
Kids that were 2, 3, 4 years out of treatment were still having issues, just either catching up or processing, all kind of different issues. So we had a program in a couple months later that we had one of the pediatric oncologists and a school psychologist get together and do a program for our parents about some of the educational issues that might either be side effects from treatment or just things that might happen and how to handle it.
Chemo brain it's a temporary effect on the brain from chemo. And it basically affects, and I don't know the adult status, but I know for kids, it's about 2/3 of kids who've gone through treatment have some form of chemo brain. Brooklyn's affects more of her memory. She will remember something right now, but in 5 minutes she might not remember it. In an hour she might remember it again, and so it's kind of hit or miss. And so we have been looking and looking and looking. Actually, last year I went online looking for tutors and could not find anybody who could help us and fit our schedules. Esther with Cancer Services told me one afternoon that they were starting a tutoring program, and I thought it was wonderful.
So Cody and Brooklyn actually got in touch with us to say that Brooklyn was starting first grade and that she was already kind of struggling in her school. Brooklyn is a very smart little girl. She knows a lot. She's also been through a lot in her 7 years. So for her, coming into a classroom with a lot of kids and a lot of stuff going on, it's just a different world. She sees things differently. A typical day in the life of Brooklyn at school, when I'm with her, we do math. They are working with clocks and counting by 2s and 5s and 10s. We're doing the months, the days of the week, all those kind of exciting things. And then we also Brooklyn and I get to sometimes work outside the classroom. And so with Brooklyn, it's just communicating in a way where she'll understand.
Miss Whitney is kind of like Brooklyn's sister. I mean, they have that kind of bond. From me looking at Whitney, might say they're even closer than that. Might be like Whitney's mom, I mean like Whitney's daughter, but they are extremely close.
We started working with her and saw just huge strides in her confidence, in her ability to communicate what she knew. Something as simple as a spelling word we were working on, and she would know it, but it just took a little bit longer to get out. And so that's kind of what one of Brooklyn's hurdles is to get her comfortable at a level and confident in such a way to get that out.
Every day she's excited to see Miss Whitney and she's excited to see Miss Megan, and so yeah, completely, she loves it.
She's doing well, she's super confident for certain things. She's a first grader, so she struggles with some and is good at others. But overall, just seeing the growth in Brooklyn and just her happiness level even. The fact that she can kind of be a little bit more of a 7-year-old and get to play and hang out with her older brother and tag along like little sisters do.
She has more confidence now because she's seeing progress, and she's feeling more confident with Cancer Services coming in and helping her. We have gone from last report card, we had 2 B's and all F's, and so far this year it's all A's and B's this semester. So is extremely successful. They saved the day, so they really did. I really think Brooklyn will pass first grade this year because of Cancer Services.
There's a need in our area, and the fact that we actually have the resources here and can connect those is just phenomenal. And the parents and the families are just so appreciative and so grateful because, all parents out there know it's hard. School is hard, and when you're having other things going on in your life, to add to that level of difficulty, that it's a lot, and so that they're not alone in this battle.
People who don't know about Cancer Services need to know about Cancer Services. You guys have changed our life. Brooklyn is passing first grade because of you guys, and that's the meat of it. That she's not passing because of anything else that's going on. She's passing because Cancer Services is there to help her, and that has saved our school year. I don't know what we're going to do if you guys ever stop, but right now we're completely thankful that you're doing this for us, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I don't know what we would do without you guys.
Clouds are white and the brightness of day. I like the dark and I think to myself, what a wonderful